the beginning there was Jack, and Jack had a groove that far surpassed any expectations placed upon him. You see, Jack was a righteous mother. Jack was a no-hold-bar motherfucker. Some say he could even walk on water. Therefore that made him an aqua boogie motherfucker. But what brings us all together? Black, white, yellow, orange, or any other shade of the rainbow? You'll know. It's that motherfucking house music.
I think if I would have been born in the 60s, I would have been in a rock band. But I grew up in the 80s, and we all had turntables. My father was always a big fan of music. We had a piano at home, and he used to play all kinds of different music. And at one point, I could only fall asleep if my dad was playing music downstairs, because it was safe. I knew my mom and dad were home, and I was safe asleep upstairs. So whenever I hear, like, I'm outside of a club and I hear, like, the bass go, it reminds me of my childhood.
Musically, I have a big brother, and he was all into the Depeche Mode kind of stuff. I mean, whatever he liked, I had to like as well. So, so when normal kids would listen to like the children's stuff, I was already into the Depeche Mode and Toto, Aha.
I had 2 years of piano lessons, but I hated my teacher. Her house used to smell really bad, and when I came home, my clothes used to smell of that, like smell of books.
I played the flute for 1 year at school. We had to choose an instrument, so I did it for 1 year, but I don't know how to read notes or anything.
I glued headphones to my ears, you know. I recorded all the dance shows that were on the radio. I was like, you know, always dreaming of this life as a DJ when I grew up.
I first got into DJing when I was around 16 years old. I went to a birthday party of a cousin of mine, and he had 2 turntables set up in his room, so I just gave it a shot. It's actually ruined all his records. I mean, the first week I borrowed them because the needle was just on the record completely, so it's just scratched everything. But, I mean, that's basically the way to learn it, isn't it?
I can't read any notes, and I hope I don't have to read notes, because, you know, as soon as I understand what I'm doing and it all makes sense, then I don't think it's creative anymore. Yeah. It started for me with a hit single in the UK in 2000. One club asked to book me, the other club asked to book me, and that's how I'm standing here.
My first professional gig was about 3.5 years ago when I played in Poland. No, actually, a few weeks before I played in Switzerland. It was my first gig. I was really nervous and didn't know what to expect. I mean, I started producing professionally, and I was kind of thrown into the deep end. Just go there, play your set. 2 weeks after, I had to play in Poland and I had to do a 4-day tour. And each and every single day, I had to play before 10,000 people. And that was actually the second time I ever played. So.
I still remember when I started my radio show back in 2001, which I'm still doing every week. And I think I owe a lot of my success to that radio show. It was a national station, but only on cable, so not on FM back then when I started. And I checked the internet on the forums, and more people tuned in every week. And I got reactions from like Australia and New Zealand. I'm like, how the hell do they know my show? How the hell some guy in Holland would turn on his radio and stream it illegally to Australia and to New Zealand and to all the countries around the world. And that was the beginning of internet radio. Dance music has become global thanks to the internet.
It's the best platform for people to commute and just find their soulmates into the same style and genre of music.
I started a new CD series back in 2001 called Universal Religion. And that's what I feel with my music, you know. I play for the Jews in Jerusalem, but I also play for Palestinians in Lebanon. And they dance to the exact same music. Usually in my hotel room, before I play, I need 1 or 2 hours and I listen to music.
And basically when I get in, the first thing I do is just get my bag somewhere and just go listen to the DJ, what he's playing, and that kind of decides what first track I'm gonna play. And it's all about the first 1 or 2 tracks where you're going to start and just build your set from there. So
the only thing that makes you a DJ is the fact that there's a crowd. What I try to do is I try to imagine myself on the dance floor, and like, what would I want to hear if I was that kid, you know, that paid $25 to get into this club, worked his whole week, and he wants to have a great time. I usually have 2 or 3 options for starting my set, and I know my 2, 3 records that I start with, and I see which record works best. You know, if it's more deep, more progressive. I mean, I usually like to start a little bit slow so I can build a story. But if that doesn't work, you know, change the plan, and that's what makes you a DJ, good DJ or not. If you can change your plan right on the spot. But at the end of the day, the crowd decides where I go with my set. I think right now, if you want to be a successful DJ, 2 things are essential. 1, make your own track, be successful with it. And 2, be an original.
It is very important for a DJ to produce his own tracks, because it's really hard these days for the competition out there to just make your name solely based on your DJ sets.
The DJs that have joined the elite in the last couple of years, they've all done that. They made a great record and they do something, they play a certain style, that's different.
Producing is a form of developing your own sound, and which people can relate to. I think my music is more an expression of myself. When I produce music, I picture myself inside a club, so that's how I produce my music. If I produce music, I think, well, I would go and dance to this kind of track, and that's basically my communication with the crowd. So just, well, this is my sound, do you like it or not? It's a great development to be able to produce your music in studio, where it's all safe and closed environment. There's nobody there to disturb you. Then take it out, just throw it into the crowd, and just see what happens. It's great. It's a big difference with the old days, where you first have to get it released, and then you had it on vinyl, then you could play it out. These days you could just produce it and play it out the same day. To be honest, the best thing about producing is the blank screen with nothing on it, and just, where do I go now? Just I can go every single direction, and I mean, I don't like to produce the same music over and over again. I just start with nothing and just see what happens. It's kind of the mysterious factor. What will be the result? I mean, it can be completely crap, or it can be great. I mean, that's always the question, isn't it?
When I started DJing, when I started producing, there was no, you know, I'm going to be popular or famous, or I just loved the music. I wanted to play that music, and that was all there was. There was no money, there was no DJ magazine list, there was no popularity, there was no festivals. It's just, wow, this track, you know, you want to share that track with people, like, hey, hear this. And that's the essence of DJing.